Slava, thank you very much for taking the time to talk to us. I'd like to ask you, at what point did you realize that making music or being a cellist would be your career and the cello was going to be your main instrument for your life as a musician?
Even before I take a cello in my hand, yes. I have some interesting photo that I was 4 months old, and that taken me to cello case together with cello. And I not only under sides of case of cello, I also make pizzicato 4 months old. My father was very, very cellist, my father. I think that I never play so like my father. And I, of course, hear how my father rehearsing with my mother pianist, in our home. And when I was 4 years old, I come to piano, and with one finger, I make same melody what father played cello. And when I was 8 years old, father tell me, you must play cello. I tell to my father, I would like to become a conductor. Father tell, no, first you must make career as cellist. And if that good career, you possible conducting.
At what point did your professional career really set off? Was there an initial point, a particular concert or event that really started it?
My first concert, I played Saint-Saëns concerto with orchestra. That was 1940. I was 13 years old. In small city in Ukraine, Slavyansk, that's in summer, in park, play symphony orchestra, and I in park played Saint-Saëns concert. I was very, very happy and very proud about that. And I start work when I was 14 years old, yes, because I lost my father, because our family evacuated from Moscow. That was war, 41, and we live in Orenburg in Ural 2 years. And there I lost my father, he passed away, and I understand I must practice and I must learn. My father was teacher in a music school in Orenburg. My father was professor there. And in this moment in Orenburg, nobody played better than I after died my father. That's why I replaced my father as teacher. And 14 years old, I start my career as teacher. Amazing. My student was 20 years old, 22 years old. Yes.
Do you think that in teaching, repertoire and technical issues should be separate things, or did you always combine both things, working musically and technically at the same time?
No, you know, the first step for musicians, that must be musicians understand, even if child, must understand that most important what he think about music, what he think about his playing. Because, you know, if you know which kind of sound you must produce for this composition, yeah, your muscles automatically play what is needed for that. Because your brain, you know, that's dictated to your muscles much better than teacher dictated to you. Sometimes, of course, I must tell that make something technically more precisely. Yeah. But most important, of course, idea, how you must play in your brain.
What are the key qualities you're looking for in a student?
Who play for me? Yes. I tell very honestly everything what I think about student. Yes. But of course, I delicate because I know that's not make some trauma for moral trauma for student. And that's why sometimes when public in my master class, of course somebody is so nervous, and that's so nervous that shake of hands. And I tell even before he plays, I tell, don't worry, I hear cellist much worse than you. Much worse. Not worry, I'm sure.
Yeah. It was fascinating to watch you yesterday teaching somebody who was very young.
Yes.
When a young person like that comes to you and would ask you for advice how to live their life as a cellist, what would you say?
You know, that's most important. If you have talent, talent make your life. But talent must be also very carefully coming, because some young people think I am talented, I not needed some advice. Yeah. I needed advice in music until now. Until now, I start my conductor's career in 1961. First program I conducted, big program. And of course, 1961, I already was cellist.
Very, very famous.
Yeah, because my first visit in the United States was 1956.
Yeah.
But when I coming to my friends, to conductors, with score, as pupil, you know, as student, I was so happy, because that's so phenomenal feeling, you know. And until now, if I hear cellist, even student, something I think, oh, that's not bad idea. Maybe he not realize this idea, but he have idea.
Yes.
I maybe realize better than he realized his idea.
How do you think your style of teaching has developed and changed over the years?
Of course I change.
Yeah.
Of course I change, because I have, you know, that's two things what I have before. That's very good. I maybe unmodest, but I tell you two things very good. That's my memory and my hands. That's only two things. All another, that's very bad. And because I have very good memory, I remember each words what say to me Prokofiev, what say to me Shostakovich about music, what say to me Benjamin Britten, because when I know these people, I understand how great these people. And of course, after that, I have changed my teaching, because fantastic teacher was Prokofiev and Shostakovich, you know, and even more, because when I have even more culture around music, when I know friends like a Marc Chagall, like a Picasso, like a Salvador Dali, of course that makes my horizon for the feeling of arts much bigger. That's why, of course, I change until now.
Do you think that being such good friends with Prokofiev and Britten and Shostakovich made you play their music in a different way?
No, I think no, because even before I know these composers, I already have big time, a long time, for I play first performance of many another composers. And you know, that's because I have this practice. For me, even if I conducting Beethoven or I conducting Tchaikovsky, I not take it traditionally this. I see music notes, and I see what composer written there. If composer not written ritardanda, I try not make it ritardanda. If etc. etc. That's why for me also Prokofiev, Shostakovich, that's I think why that's like my performance. Excuse me, because even if I make music, I make only what in this music make composer only. I not make my fantasy. I not take a risk for that, because my fantasy even less interesting than fantasy of Prokofiev, Shostakovich and Britten.
But when the works were written, I mean, they were written for you. Were you actually involved in the process of writing the piece as an advisor on what they could do with the cello?
No, sometimes, of course, I make proposition for a composer, but very rare. Very rare. Only if I'm 100% sure. I'm very happy sometimes when I would like to say something about music to composer. And I don't know why, but I not say. And until now, I remember this moment. And I thanks of God, I not say, because that was so stupid. Well, if I say this, you know, that's a thanks of God. Not each my wish I tell to great composer, no.
Yeah.
And I'm very happy about that now. Of course, sometimes Prokofiev asked me that only for 16 bars. He told me, Slava, I make here figura stinat for orchestra, but because you very good play cello, a composer self, you compose passages, very virtuous passages. And I composed for him, composed. And, but I very much time taken before I showed to him my composition for these passages. And Prokofiev was angry. Once tell me, Slava, why you not make for me 16 bar these passages? Maybe you not even not have talent like a Brahms. That compliment. I don't know. Yes, I agree that I have no talent like a Brahms. But once I give to him 16 bar coming, and he take it this my 16 bar in the table, and when he very concentrated, sometimes he lost his saliva. And for I don't know how many, 200 notes to these passages. And he only changed for my passages maybe 7 or 8 notes. You know, I don't sleep after that because I think why I so untalented, because the 7 or 8 notes make different all passages.
Yeah.
I think I'm an idiot. But when I left after that, I came to first floor. Prokofiev lived in third floor, and Prokofiev go to these stairs, and to the Slava. I just thought, very good passages you make for me.
But you actually composed yourself the Humoresque, which is published.
Yes, Humoresque waiting for my teacher because his birthday was. I have not money for make to him presents, and in one night I composed this Humoresque, and that's difficult. But in same night I practice, and when I come next morning to class, all of course people congratulated him that he's around to date something, 60 or 70 years. And I told, I have some gift to you, I play to you this gift. And I play Humoresque. That's better because I not pay for that.